we do.
Yes.
We don't get a great opening and then just do this.
Two guys talking without wearing pants. Podcast. You can take our ideas.
Welcome back to a new season. Here's your host, Austin and Travis. Take it away, guys. Hey! Hey! Look who it is.
Season 8.
It is Season 8. I'm trying to get some stuff going here. Let's get this off here. Welcome back. I don't know if you noticed. You guys probably noticed. Changed up the opening picture.
Yeah, it was a bigger, more in your face.
I kind of rearranged some things, but then realized I didn't test it for actually what it was going to look like in OBS here. So everything was all off kilter. I'm going to have to adjust it some more. I knew I didn't do the proper testing again. It's a new season.
Our podcast people probably don't even know we have an opening screen.
Oh, our audio people, where we get most of our listens. I almost said views. Where we get most of our views on the audio. I've actually been meaning to ask you how we're doing on the audio side. Hey, new season. Let's start with that. If you have the information,
I've got some information. We're still hanging out. 96% of our listeners are from the U.S. 4% are from Germany, and then we've got less than 1% from Honduras and less than 1% are from Iran. 48% of our listeners are on Apple Podcasts. 20% of them are from Spotify. 13% of them listen through their web browser, and then 19% do other things.
Actually, listen to web browser?
Again.
Like, that's a thing?
We actually picked up some female listeners. We're up to 3%. Like, I think we were at 0%. So,
because what do we
maybe our pop culture segment has started bringing in some ladies. They're like, hey, I'm just going to stick around for their breaking news. And then they end up loving us and then staying and listening to us review movies.
Your last Batman video short, it was the most watched video we've had in over a month, with 8 views, 1 like, 1 dislike.
That is awesome.
I totally expected your second one you did, mentioning autism, would have gotten way more dislikes. But it was 3 views with 1 like. I'm gonna have to watch this other one again.
I wonder who got upset about what.
I'm not really sure, but I think we need to jump into this shorts game. Well, I mean, I wear shorts all the time. YouTube shorts, that is.
YouTube shorts, that would be hilarious. YouTube shorts while wearing YouTube shorts.
I will find a pair of shorts that say YouTube across the butt and make a bunch of YouTube shorts with them. Do like the whole Ace Ventura talking out of my butt.
Do you care if I ask you some questions?
Do you have a breath mint? Maybe some butt knocker.
Oh, Ace Ventura.
So, hey.
Good
Friday, because we're totally recording this on not Friday, we drafted for WNBA. We did. We're going to do a short, quick WNBA season here, which, how do they play so fewer games? What does NBA play? They play one.
NBA plays 82 games.
Is it 82? I thought they were over 100, but it's not, is it? 82. WNBA plays 32. Now, I think NBA has double the teams? What do they have, like
Prob-
32 teams?
That sounds right. That sounds right.
That's what the NFL has, and that's a I think the three major sports, or even the four major sports, have 32, but WNBA only has 12. My second round pick, Sabrina Ionescu, just threw down 42 points tonight. We were talking, I think we were talking at work this week, and you were saying how you think this was going to be like low scoring, like an actual like NBA.
All of the points are like single digit points. Like only a few categories give you 2 points, and everything else just gives you 1 point.
You want to know what after 2 days, 2 days of scoring, the score? Me and Sean are playing week 1. You want to know what the score is right now? And we're not even done scoring points. I still have games going. Nah, all the games have ended now. I'm up 199 to 124 after 2 days.
I barely broke 100. Of course, to be fair, I was kind of just going to phone in because I had a bunch of players that were out. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to sacrifice this week.
Yeah.
So I haven't really been doing any roster moves or anything. I've left points on the bench. So.
My one girl that was out due to being overseas has now been changed to day to day.
They're coming anytime.
But Ionescu, which was my second pick in the draft, she threw down 42 points in her opening game.
That's awesome.
Like, well, that's
And then you are looking primed to beat me in baseball, sir. We were talking about I had you by 80 points.
Did I make up a lot of points tonight?
Now I only have you by 40, and my pitcher looks like he has positive points, but I think he's gonna get a loss, and that will a loss is negative points, and so I think he'll end up. My 220 will be less than 220 before the night's over. So
I just had a pitcher throw 22, another one throw 4, and another score 10. So I just threw down 36 points in pitchers.
Yeah.
And 20. Wow, who threw down points in my batting? Springer had 7. Some of my outfielders scored some, but I'd have really had you if I realized that one of my first baseman I had on IL came back this morning and threw down 5 points on my bench.
Pitchers right now, and my batters only scored 13. But good news for me, in LA is trying to make a comeback. They're down 4-0, and they've scored 3 runs. So if they could at least get the no decision, I'll be okay. Or if they can actually score a couple runs and give my pitcher a win, that'll be nice. I had already counted them out. I'm like, they're not 4-0. My guy's gonna get yanked pretty soon. But he's still in the game and he's pitching well. It's just we need some more runs.
Jokers are gonna drop their 3rd straight game.
Sweet, that's what I need.
He's struggling. But he
put up the second most points in the whole league last week. He was just played the person who scored the most points in the league.
I found out Friday at work because I was talking to him, and he was talking to another guy that works there that knows a lot about baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess there was an old cat that was an old Cy Young Award winner that was that's like a really good baseball player that was in free agency the whole time. And suggested for Kelly to pick him up. I don't know who he is. God, he's got a lot of people hurt.
Game's killing me. I said all the postponed games are killing me.
Yeah, I had 2 postponements that hurt 2 of my pitchers for this game. For tonight. I had quite a few postponements tonight. So, but hey, I'm looking strong week 1. Day two.
You're taking that WNBA championship home,
Hey,
getting that special trophy.
heck yeah.
I'm not going to announce it here. I'm not going to talk about it here, but just know that there might be a YouTube short at the end of the season with the trophy presentation that might get some dislikes. It might get some likes. Oh, we'll see. It's going to be fantastic.
It will be fantastic.
But
So, hey, you got any breaking news?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm sure as everybody knows, today was the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, that was today.
Yes. And a horse with, it was like, what do they call it? The horse with the longest shot? What do you call them? Like the guy
the ones that suck?
Yeah, like nobody was saying he wasn't going to win. Or if you bet money on him, you were going to get a lot of money. He ended up pulling it out and winning. That's not the breaking news that I have. That's just a side note. But as our listeners and viewers care about, it's the pop culture. And Anna Nicole Smith's daughter made her annual appearance and took a picture with her dad. That's the only time you ever see her, I guess. Her dad's trying to raise her out of the limelight. But every year they go to the Kentucky Derby, they take a photo together, post it on Instagram, and people are like, oh yeah, Anna Nicole had a daughter. So she's wearing a very floral dress. The dad's wearing a matching tie. She's got her fancy derby hat. But yeah, that's out there in the world. If you're into that kind of thing.
Danielle Lynn Burkhead would be her name.
I don't know how you pronounce it, Danilyn. I don't know.
I went very
Danielle.
Danielle Lynn.
Or Danny Lynn. Could it be Danny Lynn?
The two N's are throwing me off.
Yeah.
Because if you take an N off, it's Daniel Lynn. But ladies,
I'm going
I think it's Danielle Lynn. Daniel Lynn.
Danielson. Wax on, wax off.
My sources are saying that your sources are completely accurate, and she was wearing a floral dress and a weird, like, oversized hair bow that wasn't that look. That's more of a hair bow than a hat. So your sources are slightly off on that one. And it was weird that he does have a tie that matches her dress. That's kind of creepy.
Sweet.
Let's go with that.
It's called Precious, thing. Travis. That's Precious.
Same meaning, same word. Creepy and precious go hand in hand.
Right.
Oh, well. There you go. What about a movie?
Movie?
What movie?
Blade.
Oh,
retro movie review.
Okay.
Yes.
Like, she's not in a movie.
No, is she?
I don't know she exists. Yeah, we watched Blade.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen. Not like a long time. I've seen Blade way more recently than some of the movies that we've rewatched. But I really picked up. I don't know if you picked up on it, or maybe you've always known it, but I didn't pick up on it till this time. The movie is shot. It has a lot of like anime type cinematography. Like some of the scenes. I
never had noticed that before. That chase scene.
Yeah.
Where it was almost like stop animation, where the cars were like unrealistically making turns, and I saw that and went, well, you know this. Yeah. He's a Marvel character, right?
He is a Marvel character, yeah.
And this isn't a Marvel movie, but it is based off of the character from the Marvel universe.
Right.
They licensed the character out for New Line Cinema. Ooh, New Line Cinema. You don't see them anymore. But they licensed them out to make 3 movies with the Blade character. Wesley Snipes looks so young in this movie. You look confused with that statement.
I'm looking at him and I'm just admiring how young he looks.
Yeah. Okay. Chris Christopherson. That was the old man, right?
Maybe. What's his name? Wheeler?
Something like that. That was Chris Christopherson, right? Because I was trying to figure out who he was the whole movie, and I forgot to check it out. And I'm seeing the starring. So, yeah, really good movie. Real good. What?
I was going to ask you what Metacritic. What do they think?
What does Metacritic think? Well,
What is?
we got 25 critics out of 100.
I seriously doubt that they like this movie. I think
you're
I bet they gave it 48.
I think this is the closest you've ever been, sir, without actually being right on the money. 47.
Ah, man.
711 users out of 10.
Man, that's where it's tough because users are usually high, but I don't know. Blade got pretty good. I'm gonna say a 7.3.
8.0.
Oh, good.
I
Okay,
liked it.
good.
Look, I like this movie.
Yeah.
I like it because it's got the over the top gore. I don't know why I liked I'm not a fan of the realistic gore that's over the top.
Right.
I like this style of gore where it's comically over the top.
Like Kill Bill.
Yeah, Kill Bill. Yeah, that I'm into that kind of stuff where it's like the body doesn't hold that much blood.
Oh, that's funny. But when you're a vampire and all you do is drink blood, you're gonna hold more blood naturally.
Yeah, do you really bleed that much? You have blood in you, so yeah, probably.
Lots of explosions.
Yeah, when he sticks those two vampires in that hallway with that serum that caused them to expand and explode.
Yeah.
That was kind of awesome. So, we got from the critics, we got 10 positive, 7 mixed, 8 negative. Users, we had 577 positive, 68 mixed, 66 negative. The Guardian gave it an 80. Highest score from critics. Blade is an entertainingly macabre and excitingly staged action horror. I don't know what horror you're talking about. With a propulsive energy and a prototype bullet time sequence 1 year before the Matrix. What bullet time?
There was that one where he shot. It was boom, boom, shot it at Deacon Frost, and then you could see the bullet was going, and then he goes.
Yeah, when he had that girl in his arm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's the only one that I could think of. Blade might have done it too.
L.A. Weekly gave it a 20. Working from
that was the lowest score.
Yeah, it's a low score we're showing. Without going and digging for more.
Gotcha.
Working from a script by David S. Goyer, Dark City, that lacks any sense of humor of character. Snipes seems unsure if he should vamp it up or play it straight, while Dorf just plain sucks. I think Dorf was the name of the character Frost. That's the
actor who played Frost.
Dorf, yeah. What else is he on? Steven Dorff?
Yeah, I don't know.
He looks familiar.
It was that at the very beginning that the guy that went into the vampire hideout unknowingly, was that Dennis Quaid?
I don't think so. It almost looked like it looked more like Dane Cook to me.
Dane Cook. I was looking
it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Abraham Whistler was Chris Christopherson. Let's see here. Who else? Steven Dorff. I don't know what else he's been off of. The guy that played the older vampire. He's been on a lot of stuff. Udo Kier. I don't know what else he's been off of, but I think he was on. I'm gonna tangent here and remember what he's. I'm trying to remember. He's been on a lot of stuff. He was in. I think he was in one of the Ace Venturas. I think as one of the kind of rich guys.
Orf really isn't in much of anything. He was in some TV show stuff.
He just looks familiar. Like there's something.
He was in a lot of music videos. Fear.com, maybe. I don't know. You're not really into that kind of stuff.
He was in Blade 2. That's where I'd seen him before.
Blade 2. Okay.
That's a joke. I don't remember anything about that movie.
Was he in Blade 2?
It showed him being in Blade 2. I don't know how big of a role he plays there, but
I wonder if it was just like in flashbacks or something.
I'm right. The guy that played the older vampire, the one that they killed with the sun. He was in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, the first one.
Nice.
I don't remember what role he played. Oh, he was the rich collector that had the shark in the tank that Ace Ventura and Courtney Cox goes to that fancy party. And he's like, "Do not go in there."
Yeah.
The guy that was running that party was the same guy as that vampire.
I'm glad you remember that line. I was playing a game with David and Mark and Gert, and David was on my team. And my goal was to just say a line from a movie, and David had to guess the movie. And that was my line. I said, "Do not go in there." Woo! And he's just like, "I have no idea." And I'm like,
I would have immediately went Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Yeah, see. Next time we play
the Shark Tank. I don't like. Yeah.
See, you should have been there. You should have been on my team.
When it comes to old movie quotes, yeah, you can not quote. Very specific knowledge of about maybe 5 movies. So, hey, what does our common sense have to say about this? If it's not Chuck, I'm gonna be mad.
It's not. It's Danny Brogan.
Chuck, you let me down.
Right.
Oh, Chucky boy, Chuck. What do we got?
So, Danny, he's one of our British reviewers.
Danny boy.
With 2 kids. He says it is a 3 out of 5 for 17 and older. He says it's a superhero vampire film that has extreme violence, gore, and language. Parents say 4 out of 5 for 16 and older, and kids say 4 out of 5 for 14 and older. I can see that all of those ratings kind of make sense to me. I can see where a kid will be like, "Yeah, 14-year-olds can watch this," and parents will go, "Yeah, it's probably 16."
Yeah.
All right. So, positive messages. What are we thinking? Danny's going to be given on positive message.
A 1.
So he says, not present, but clickable.
Of course, that's a 1.
Yeah. Oh, and you're going to love this first sentence. Few, if any, positive messages. So if there's if it's at least few, then it's got to be 1. If there's not any, then it's not. So, whatever. He says characters, even quote good ones, are motivated by revenge and a need to feed their thirst for blood. For others, it's a desire for power. Result is extreme violence? Not present, according to Danny.
Not there.
Positive role models.
Give her a 1, not present.
What? One not present.
Oh, a not present 1.
Okay, a not present one. He actually does give it a 1. He
Ah.
says, Blade, along with sidekick Whistler, is determined to rid the world of vampires, largely to revenge death of his mother. He shows little emotion other than a degree of kindness towards Whistler and Karen. Both Blade and Whistler trade in stolen goods to fund their weaponry. Although initially reluctant, Karen begins helping Blade, using violence when necessary. Deacon Frost and fellow vampires are immoral, motivated by power. They wish to eradicate humans, positive representation of diversity with characters of different races in prominent and supporting roles. There you go. What do you give about violence?
Let's give that a 5.
Yeah, it's definitely a 5. Yeah. Graphic, gory, relentless, with a high body count. Characters are tortured, decapitated, thrown from buildings, limbs broken and severed, necks bitten, blood is drunk from gaping wounds, vampire characters killed, usually with silver bullet, knife, or sword, turned into a body of dust before disappearing, guns, knives, swords, also much hand-to-hand fighting, kicking, punching, throwing, deaths, bloody injuries, vampire pinned against the wall with stakes, set on fire, burnt corpse on hospital gurney, character's face stamped on repeatedly. They later shoot themselves dead as a result of the injuries. Only a gunshot is heard. A vampire that resembles a flatulent blob is tortured with UV light to burn their skin. A vampire graphically melts when forced to see sunlight. Characters injected with a concoction swell up before exploding. Characters hit by a train. One has their face held against a moving carriage, scarred face later shown, electrocutions and explosions. A woman gives birth while bleeding from the neck. Blood pours from ceiling during a scene in a club. A child is thrown in front of a bus but is saved in time. Vampires and flying skeletons provide a horror element. Whew. Okay, now I'm going to turn to page 2.
Yeah, that was all of the movie right there.
that was
the whole movie.
Spoiler alert. Sex. What do you think about sex?
I want to give that. It's a hard one. 2.
Danny gave it a 3. He said, character grabs someone's genitals in a suggestive manner. A club scene depicts revelers in their bras. Oral sex is briefly seen being performed on someone in a public place. Characters kiss, often after biting someone's neck, licking the blood of each other's faces and tongues. When the vampire bites characters' necks and drink their blood, it often resembles a sexual encounter. Characters are seen bare-chested at various points, though in a non-sexual context.
Then it doesn't get a point for sexual content.
So, yeah. Language.
Give her a 4.
And he says 5. He says bunch of words. Mother effer, effing, S word, I guess. B word, son of a B. Somebody says balls.
Yeah.
The A word, a hole. Whore is used constantly. Jesus Christ and God are used as exclamations.
Yeah.
Along with the D word. So he didn't like. He said that was much. 5. Consumerism.
I want to give it a good score here, because I have a feeling there was a fair amount, but not much. Give it a 2.
He said not present, not even clickable.
Was there any? Well, I mean, he drove a Dodge Charger. Made me want to go buy one.
Right, that was a pretty car, yeah.
Other than that, I don't think there really was much.
Not according to Danny. I don't
That's
know.
fair.
Although it is a comic book movie, so
Yeah, but most people don't realize that he was even a comic book movie. Because when I first watched this movie, I didn't realize Blade was a Marvel character. I didn't realize it until the first Ultimate Alliance game that came out on Xbox 360 or the original Xbox.
oh yeah, he was in there.
Yeah, Blade was one of the characters. You unlock him out. There's a level where you're going to fight the Toy Master, I think's his name, and there's a giant claw machine, and you run up to it and you pick a ball up out of the claw machine and it drops out, and Blade falls out of the machine. He was caught in the claw machine, and you unlock him out of a claw machine.
Cool.
It's crazy how I remember that. I haven't played the game in probably 20 years.
Drinking, drugs, smoking. What do you think?
Give it a 4.
He says 3.
Thought I saw a lot of cigarette smoking.
It does say characters are often seen smoking cigarettes and on occasion cigars. Some drinking of alcohol is depicted, but never to excess. A type of serum is regularly injected into the necks of characters, causing a violent reaction.
Don't. I guess that is a portrayal
But,
of a drug.
is that a right? Is that a drug?
Yeah. there
So,
are some bad ones out there that require injection. So yeah, I see that.
what parents need to know? Parents need to know that Blade is an extremely violent action film based on the Marvel comic book superhero that contains horror and fantasy elements. Blade is a human-vampire hybrid who, despite sharing some traits with vampires, is determined to rid the world of them. The violence is non-stop and extremely bloody, with a huge number of deaths. And then he just proceeds to talk about all the things that we talked about. Then it goes down and says, released in 1998, Blade is often cited as the film that kick-started Marvel's success in movies. It also deserves praise for its positive representation of diversity, with Blade being one of the first black superheroes to be given their own movie franchise. Snipes starred as Blade in 2 additional movies. However, with its graphic action and gory injuries and deaths, this is one superhero film not intended for kids. An adult gave it a 5 out of 5 for 18 and older, and his title was Some MFers Are Always Trying to Ice Skate Uphill. It's a line from the movie.
Oh. Gotcha.
Another adult said 4 out of 5. Action, but fun. Action's fun. Why would you say action, but fun? It's got a lot of action, but don't worry, it is fun.
I guess action is inherently not fun.
Maybe. Kids, let's see, we got a 14-year-old that says they were not of age, because they said 15 and older. 4 out of 5. That's fantastic. I love it when younger people go, yeah, no, I shouldn't have watched that. But they said it was really good, lots of slicing, and one inappropriate scene in the beginning. And then a 13-year-old says 13 and older, 4 out of 5. 1998 horror vampire movie has lots of violence and language and drug. It has a drug, I guess.
A drug.
Maybe the serum has too much severe amounts of violence and language and some moderate drugs. There you go.
I hate seeing a drug.
Yeah, that serum.
Gotcha.
So let's sheath our sword and figure out what we're watching next week.
I got some potentials.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Netflix has added new movies. I have a feeling it did because the 30th they dropped a bunch of movies, so it makes sense that they'd add some new movies.
Yeah.
So Happy Gilmore's on Netflix now.
Okay.
Forrest Gump.
Okay.
Devil's Advocate.
Have you seen Devil's Advocate?
Don't know if I've ever seen that one. I was trying to think if that's one I've seen before.
I say we watch Devil's Advocate.
It's actually leaving May 31st, so we have this month to watch it. Let's do it. I don't think I've ever watched this movie.
Weed.
And if I have, I don't remember. You gotta realize, some of these movies that released between 95 and 99, I probably, especially like these rated R movies, I probably didn't get a chance to watch. Because I was in middle school at that time. I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of these style movies. My parents kind of really restricted what we watched. Not heavily, but there was a lot of stuff, or there was just stuff that I didn't even know existed till I got up older, because it never crossed my path. My parents never watched it. So there's a lot of these late 90s movies that's like, I didn't even know this movie existed. But come to find out, it's a super popular movie. So I don't know I don't know if you were similar situation.
Oh yeah. I was definitely in the same situation.
So
that's why there's a lot of these classics, the rated R classics.
Mm-hmm.
Probably haven't seen all of them yet because it's a slow burn.
So
all right, so we're doing that.
Hey, I watched another really good movie this week that I wanted to kind of throw out to the world, that if you've never seen it before, really good movie. It's leaving Netflix at the end of the month, so if you guys want to watch a really good, in the feels football movie, watch The Blind Side.
Okay, yeah. That's a good one.
Love it. I didn't have anything to do the other night, and it popped up. I'm like, yeah, I need to watch this movie again.
Yeah.
Really good movie. Sad that the saddest part of the movie is that he got drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. Spoiler. But probably one of the greatest blindside tackles that really ever play the game. Michael Orr. So, I remember watching the draft that he came out in.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. He was drafted in early 2000s, late 90s? I can't remember. I watched the movie and they said it in the movie and I don't even remember. But
that's fine.
If you want to watch a really good football movie that doesn't have very much football in it till somewhere near the end, watch The Blind Side.
Yeah, it's not really a football movie. It's just a movie about somebody who played football.
It's his kind of like an origin story of how he kind of got to where he ended.
Yeah. What did you think about, now that I've seen it, Moon Knight?
Moon Knight. Oh. So good.
It's
so good.
It's good, but I'm just like, I thought we were back on track and things were making sense. Like,
so good.
Spoiler alert,
There's a third guy in his head.
He wakes up, well, not that part. That part was kind of obvious, which I have zero issue with that.
Yeah.
But the waking up back in that room where the character has bloody shoes.
Oh yeah, like, that's in his head.
Yeah, like, wasn't that he was dead last time he was there, right? Like, and like they were in that mental asylum after he had been shot. Why are they back there when he's not dead now?
Well, you gotta realize that Mark Spector is a very mentally ill individual,
right?
And I think he retreats in his own head to get away from his problems. So that mental hospital is, I think, it's supposed to represent inside his mind
So maybe when Jack Logan takes over, like Steven and Mark go to that place.
Something like that. It's somewhere for them to be. And, yeah, that guy's mental. He's the worst one of the three. And, I think, season 2, because I think this was season finale.
Yeah, it was.
And the next season should be awesome.
And who knows? There might be more than 3 people by the time it's all said and done.
There's only 3.
Is there? There's only 3.
There's only 3.
Okay.
In the actual comic books, there's 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
It was good to know, but I think we figured this out last week. But it was good to get clarification on which one was the real, which one actually belonged, would like owned the body kind of thing.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but now we've got a third person to get like a backstory on why this person was created.
Yeah, because he doesn't even know, because he knew about Steven.
Right.
He knew about Steven from the beginning because he created Steven to escape the physical and mental abuse of his mother.
Now, do we know that he doesn't know? He never says, I don't know who that was. Like, I
don't think he knows that there's a third personality in there, because when they both blacked out and woke up and everybody was dead around them,
right?
They're both confused. He's like, I have no idea what's going on. Like, he doesn't even... You'd think that if he knew that this guy existed, that'd be like, oh, he's back, or something weird like that.
Like, is it possible that he created him, didn't even realize that, like, this person that he created became a part of him, like Steven? And so once it gets revealed, like, when they say, oh, it's whatever his name is, I think it was, like, Jack or something.
I can't remember his name, but yeah.
Like, oh, it's Jack. He's going to be like, Jack is turned real? Kind of, like...
Maybe.
Oh, I remember when I created him to escape the fact that I walked into my dad in the shower or something.
I liked how his wife got powers. Basically became the avatar of the hippo.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I was expecting her suit to look completely different, but she's basically a female falcon.
Yeah. Her suit was awesome.
Yeah, that fight scene when Mark and Steven were swapping back and forth, and Steven was actually fighting good. And they were because I know in the comic books they swap back and forth like that, but I don't think a suit ever changes. I don't remember ever seeing the Steven's
representation,
suit, but that's kind of a visual thing for the movie.
Right.
But really good. Me and the wife actually finished WandaVision the other night.
Awesome. What'd you think about that one?
Interesting. I have questions. I have more questions about the ending of that one than I did about questions about Moon Knight. You've watched WandaVision, right? At the very end, when Vision cures Vision, and the real Vision gets all his memories back, he flies up into the... He flies up, breaks through that glass, and in my brain, I'm going, oh, he's actually going to go help Wanda now, because he has memories that, he loves Wanda. No, he just vanishes. You don't ever see him again in the rest of the show. Just gone.
Yeah, that one is confusing because obviously Vision was Vision because of that stone, whichever stone it was.
The Mind Stone.
The Mind Stone, which was destroyed. So, did the fake Vision create? I don't know. I'm confused with that one.
What are you confused?
Like, because that one wasn't really. It was Vision, but it wasn't Vision. It was
So,
a Mind Stoneless Vision, like Vision 2.0 or 3.0 or whatever.
so the the actual Vision that had been in the sorry about that. The more I talk, the worse it gets. The illusion Vision, the one that was in Wanda's head, that she created him out of because she got it revealed that she got her powers through the Mind Stone. So, but in the show, that's how she got her powers. You watched the show.
I don't recall. I watched it, but I didn't get that.
When the other witch was taking her back through her memories. You all right there?
Don't say a word.
I can't hear you.
Oh. I was trying to be all secretive and whispery, but there's some weird spider-looking thing crawling on my wall next to my face.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
He's all good.
It creeped me out for a second. I think it's a good one. I'm not going to touch it. I don't like to kill the bugs that'll eat my ants. Unless the bug, if it bites me, it'll hurt me.
No, I don't kill the spiders that actually eat the bugs. If a spider stays, I don't care if it's a harmful one or not. If it stays up and out of my way and doesn't cross my direct path, it's all good. But when the witch is taking Wanda through her visions, which that's kind of a weird statement, but when she's taking her through her past,
right?
And there's that scene where she walks into that room and there's that scepter that had the Mind Stone in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it came over and the scientists were trying to figure out what happened because it was all in her head. It was the Mind Stone that gave her powers, which is a weird thing because in full canon, that's not how it happens, but she's a mutant. But because they didn't have the rights to mutants when they made the movie, they had to change her origin. She got powers from the Mind Stone, and when the Mind Stone was destroyed, somehow she still had an imprint of Vision in her mind. So that's how she was able to create this whole universe. But I don't So the new Vision, the one that was solid white, was created by Sword, and that's actual Vision's body. They put his body back together. And if you remember that drone that they sent in, and Wanda zapped it out of the sky and threw it back at him, it was supercharged by her powers. And the head of Sword used the energy out of that to turn Vision back on and power him without having the Mind Stone in his head. So Vision's now able to actually be the real Vision without having a Infinity Stone in his head.
All right.
And Wanda's going to play a big part in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, the movie that's out now.
That movie's going to be nuts.
Yes, it's going to be good. So, you got anything else there, boss?
I don't think so. Let's take Oh wait, I got one thing. A music note. I'll have to throw it in our thing. There is a little band that I've come across from Tahlequah called Through It All. THRUITALL.
Okay.
They're actually really good for a local band. I was very impressed. Very impressed. So I highly suggest people check out the band Through It All and know that they're from around where we are.
I'm going to send you a video.
Not too far.
I'm going to send you a video and you can watch this. My wife sent this to me the other day. It's a Ukrainian band. I got one. There's a Ukrainian. There's a band out of Ukraine called Grandma's Smuzi, SMUZI.
Okay.
Weird name. But they do a cover of Zombie,
Uh-huh.
but it's in Ukrainian.
Okay.
It's not in
Yeah.
English. I sent the video to you. You'll have to watch it later and tell us about it next week. So good. Like, if you know that song good enough, you'll be able to sing the song in your head while they're singing it in a foreign language, and it works so well. So, I think that's going to be it for this week. I can't hear you.
Juicy. I'm not coming in. Okay. Let's just call it. We'll just call it. We're done.
Well, then that means that we need to actually make this work. Hold on a minute.
Let's make it work.
Editor, cut this out. I hate my life. Hey, let's actually do that properly this time. Move this over.
YouTube. I'm trying to add all these.
Hey, Austin.
All right, we doing this?
See you later.
Bye.